This skill is about freeing up our thinking, about empowering ourselves and other people to not get stuck in the things that get us stuck, to not say, I can't, it's not possible, I don't know, but to have a structure to the way we approach problems that makes them simpler and easier to handle. For sure, life is not always easy, but I do think it can be simpler. We can have a more constructive way of looking at stuff that helps us work through it more easily. The skill of breaking down a complex problem into 4 questions. Where are we now? What do we want? How will we get there? And what will we do? Works in any situation. This guy, David Marquet, he was about to become a submarine captain in the US Navy for the first time. He'd spent a year studying the boat he was about to command. It was called the USS Olympia. And then his boss called. And his boss said, David, I know you're ready for this boat. I know you know everything about it, how it works, all the crew, but I need you to do something else. I need you to take over this other submarine called the Santa Fe. David had 2 problems. One, he didn't know how the Santa Fe worked. He couldn't command people to operate it because he didn't know. His second problem was, it was the worst performing submarine in the fleet. David's story has got some good lessons for us.
If you want your people to think, don't give instructions, give intent. So they would come to you, hey, what do you want me to do? Well, left full rudder, steady course 255. No! So what are we trying to accomplish here today? Well, we're trying to get in position so that when the enemy submarine comes through, okay, so where do you think we should position the ship? Maybe over here. Good idea, go there. And it might seem like it's a very small, nuanced change of language, but it was hugely powerful because the psychological ownership now shifts to them. They need to discover the answer. Otherwise, you're always the answer man. You can never go home and eat dinner.
And what we love about that story is that he did it on a nuclear submarine. You know, when we ever as a leader or as an individual feel like, oh, maybe this isn't appropriate, maybe I shouldn't ask them, maybe I should just tell them, maybe I shouldn't empower, David did it on a nuclear submarine. Did it work? 1 year after he took over, the Santa Fe went from being the worst performing submarine in the fleet to the best. Out of the 14 officers he had on board, 9 of them went on to command on their own. The year before, only 3 men had re-enlisted, said, I want to stay on this boat. The year after, everyone who could re-enlisted, even though they were working harder, being asked to think, being asked to do more. We want to do things that are meaningful. We want to feel that we have that ownership, that empowerment, that control. How do you do it? Well, I honestly think these 4 questions are gold. In any given situation, in life, in work, in a team meeting, in a chat, in a coaching, just in your own head, problem comes up, situation comes up, where am I now? Without worrying about how you're going to fix it, what you're going to do. Cold analysis of reality. What do I want? Without knowing how you're going to get there. You don't have to know the plan, you just go, what does good look like? Where are we trying to get to? Then, how could I get there? Not just what do you know already, but what creative ideas can you come up with? Liberated from the need for them to be perfect, just think of stuff. And then what will I do? What's my first step? The journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. What will I do first that will nudge me on to the next step? It's a beautiful tool. So, the 4 questions tool makes us think. For myself, is that the way I think? When something comes up in my life or my work, do I just instantly go, yeah, I work it through? For the leaders in the room, do I coach my people rather than tell them what to do? For our team level, when we have a challenge, do we get in a room and escape the bun fight? Escape the nonsense, escape the circular conversation that goes round and round? Do we just go, where are we now? What do we want? How do we get there? What do we do? Great, let's go. Life is not always easy, but it can be simpler.